Got the still look in there for you. Yeah, you always got to get that still look in. You just never know, right? I had a couple emails about this one on Gmail earlier. Yeah, Kyle and Patricia sent me links on this one earlier in the day. Don't want to not give credit, you know what I'm saying? Jesus. Yo, yo, yo. Yeah, hopefully you guys all got to watch the debunking video from a few minutes ago. Add a little humor in there. That's pretty much all my debunking videos are a little bit funny because it's so easy to just be sarcastic, you know? Really easy stuff. All right, so what this is about right now is Jake Patterson, the guy that abducted Jayme Closs and killed both of her parents, wrote a letter from prison answering questions by this reporter right here. I think his name is Lou Raguse. Probably not pronouncing that right. Maybe it's just Ragu with a silent S. I don't know. Or Goose or Raguse or whatever, right? I don't know how to say it. Do you know how to say it? Put it in there phonetically if you really know. If you're just guessing, don't do it. That's right. Well, I don't know how long this one's going to be. I'm going to come back on later for a longer one, but I'm just going to go over this. All right, hold on. Let me switch over. I just ate an apple, so. And guess what kind of apple it was? Yes, the legendary Honey Crisp. I don't even touch another type of apple. No. Honey Crisp. Granny Smith, not even close. Alright, so this says, the letter arrived in a simple white envelope and featured small handwritten addresses. 2 red stamps appeared on the front and back of the envelope. They even made sure that this was authentic. Alright. And 2 red stamps appear on the front and back of the envelope to indicate this letter was sent from the Polk County Jail. The recipient is KARE 11, this website right here. And the KARE 11 reporter Lou Raguse. The name of the sender is Jake Patterson. So you see right there, blah, 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 blah. So they're just trying to authenticate it because nobody believes anybody anymore. That's why when I donate money to charity around the first of the month, I have to do it live on the screen and show everybody, because then you'd get 1,000 people putting messages on your video saying, prove it. Prove that you did it. Right? The letter itself is a torn portion of a sheet of paper. The writing is small and disjointed. Abbreviations like IDK are used in a conversational text-like tone. The letter appears to be folded like a paper airplane and begins with, "Hi. I don't know if I actually will send this." Jake Patterson is jailed while waiting trial in Barron County on charges of kidnapping Jayme Closs and murdering her parents. In the letter, the man accused of kidnapping Jayme Closs says he plans to plead guilty and says he doesn't want her family to worry about a trial. He writes that he never returned to Barron after the kidnapping, and that he only followed the news of Jayme's disappearance through news updates on his phone. When asked when he realized he was capable of doing something like this, he replied, "This was mostly on impulse. I don't think like a serial killer." See, it's a little bit like Watts, right? There's some weird shit going on here. He just sort of, like, I don't even know what I was doing. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. This guy, at least, his plan worked for a long time. Although he almost got busted just driving away from the house. He drove right by a police officer. Or actually, he pulled over to let them pass. Let's see. I'm just going to go straight down to the letter. All right, let's just go over it. The full letter from Jake Patterson to KARE 11 on kidnapping of Jayme Closs. What they did was they actually transcribed it so you can just read it. The letter's hard to read. I was looking at this, and he redacted his own stuff. That's what that is right there. So the question that Lou asked the killer, the barbarian, was, why did you confess when you were caught? And why did you confess in such detail? I knew when I was caught, which I thought would happen a lot sooner, I wouldn't fight anything. I tried to give them everything. Pen, scribble, and then he did a redaction. Wasn't completely honest. So they did have to interview Jayme. They did anyway. Oh, wait, so they didn't have to. So he said he was being completely, let's see. I tried to give them everything, wasn't completely honest. So they didn't have to interview Jayme. They did anyways and hurt her more for no reason. See, don't try to act like you give a shit, dude. That's bullshit. What is your plan now? Plead guilty or take the case all the way to trial? That's the question. What is your plan now? And plead guilty or take the case all the way to trial? And then he answers, I'm going to plead guilty. I want Jayme and her relatives to know that. God, you're such a great kid. If he just hadn't blown away her parents, boy, he'd be one keeper there, huh? Don't want them to worry about a trial. Was actually going to on the 6th, but in a case like this, it's hard to read because he doesn't punctuate very well. But in a case like this, it's not really allowed. So the judge moved it to the 27th of March. What led you to, and this is another question by Lou, what led you to want to kidnap a girl in the first place? It's not black and white. Then he scribbled out whatever else he had written. Question 4. Do you have any remorse or regrets for the things that you did? And then the barbarian wrote, huge amounts. I can't believe I did this. That's exactly what Watts said. Isn't that weird? I can't believe I did this. And then question 5. What was your... hold on, I'm reading the chat for a second. Okay. Number 5. What was your long-term plan if Jayme had not escaped that day? Won't say. It was really stupid, though, looking back. Yeah, I know what his plan was. I predicted it back then, that he thought he was going to win her over and have her actually love him, and they'd live happily ever after. You remember that? I guarantee it. That's why it's a stupid idea. Number 6. Did you confide in anyone or leave any hints that people failed to pick up on? No, he said. 7. Did your family really have no clue? How often were family members in your cabin, and how close did they come to discovering Jayme under the bed? No one knew. My dad only came on Saturdays, the same time every day, so it was a routine. Jayme hides on Saturday. My family respects privacy, so no one even went in my room. It's weird just listening, reading what this creepy monster was saying, Pretty bizarre. Jake Patterson, the Barbarian. Okay, then question 8. Did you ever return to Barron after the crime or insert yourself in any way of the vigils or anything being held in Jayme's honor? Did you ever get close to her family following the kidnapping? I stayed away from Barron, he said. Question 9. How closely did you follow the news coverage, and was Jayme aware of the news coverage and the extent to which people were searching for her? I followed it through my phone. If something popped up on TV about it, I would change the channel. Would tell Jayme, I'm sorry, I can't watch this. And then he says, I don't know what she knew. Well, she definitely saw that pop up on the screen. She knew people were looking for her. That's why when she got out, she said, I'm Jayme Closs, because she knew that the media was covering it. Question 10. When in your life did you realize you were capable of doing something like this? I just watched the 2020 special on BTK Killer, and this is the same reporter asking this question. BTK Killer, and he told a reporter he knew as a teen that he wanted to do something like this one day, and he was jealous over attention other killers like Ted Bundy were receiving. Did you feel any of those same thoughts? The cops say I planned this thoroughly and that I said that. They were really good at twisting your words around, put them in different spots, straight up lie. A little mad about that. Trying to cover up their mistakes, I guess. This was mostly an impulse. I don't think like a serial killer. Yeah, well, that part you can almost kind of believe him, because remember how the cops tried to take all the credit for finding her? It's like, you didn't do a damn thing, okay? She was found because she escaped. That's it. Question 11. What goes through the mind of someone who wants to carry out something like this? At the time, I was really pissed. I didn't want to. The reason I did this is complicated. Then he redacted some stuff. No one will believe or even imagine how sorry I am for hurting Jayme this much. Can't express it. I'm sorry, Jayme, for everything I know. It doesn't mean... I'm sorry for everything. I know it doesn't mean much. Look at that. I'm sorry, Jayme, and then for everything... Jake Patterson is accused of killing James and Denise Closs. All right, so let me start over here. Jake Patterson is accused of killing James and Denise Closs on October 15th and kidnapping Jayme from their Barron family home. Yeah. So that's some crazy stuff right there. But I think we basically had all this stuff right about this guy. You know, remember all those different lives we would do and just kind of figured him out. And it just seems like that's right. He really, he didn't really plan it that great. He just kidnapped her. He thought he could convince her to love him at some point. In his place, he just thought, wow, I could be like her hero, and it just never panned out, okay? It was really, you could almost tell he didn't really plan it. He just had a great hiding place, far away, and his car wasn't caught on film. And see, I think the same thing in the, let's see. I'm going to look at this other name really quick. I always forget his name for some damn reason. Just a second. Yeah, Lewis Coleman. Yeah, it kind of has a similar feel. Like he wanted to do what he was doing. And the thing is, we're going to talk about later tonight, the Lewis Coleman case, the guy that kidnapped and killed Jassy Correa. Apparently, he had stolen the license plate 2 years prior that he used on his car. So doesn't that make you think that maybe he was killing and doing other things at different times to other people? I think he only looks like he messed up in this one because he here's the thing. I think in this case, in the Lewis Coleman case, he only got caught because his car was filmed. Other than that, there'd been no way that they would have caught the guy. Not a chance. They would have no idea. Right. So go get a hold of Mike again and tell him about that. See what he says. Well, maybe he just wanted to, he liked putting a different license plate on his car every once in a while. Yeah. All right. I don't know if I have any more to contribute about this. I just wanted to get it out there because it's interesting, right? So we went over all the different questions and the answers. He seems to, the reason for it all. How was he going to try to get away with it? I think the answer, like I said, is that he thought she would eventually really like him and want to be with her. I still don't know if there was any sexual assault at all. I don't know if anybody's heard anything about that. I kind of thought there never was. I always thought that he was trying to, possess her and then over time treat her well, and eventually she would come around. That's what I thought. Yeah. Cool. Is that Elizabeth Smart's family, Lynn? Right. So I'll be coming back on here later tonight. I don't know, 8 to 9, somewhere around there. So make sure you hit that notification bell. And if you could hit that like button before you bail, I would appreciate it, all right? And if you haven't seen the debunking video I made a couple hours ago, it was live, check that one out too, where there is a massive planaria parasite that is engulfing the deck of the Chris Watts house. It's crazy. It's weird. Weird stuff, man. Things you can find on video these days. Yeah, so, all right. That's all I got for you guys. Blue is a no-show right now. We're doing some cleaning out all of our drawers, so you see a little CD right there on the ground. We got way too much crap, and you know when you get those drawers and they're just full of stuff that you haven't used in 10 years, but you keep saying, no, I'm going to use it for something. No, just grab it and throw it away. Like immediately, just take it and throw it in the garbage, all right? All right, everybody, that's it. And until next time, be safe out there.